This curriculum is written for the young writers of Grade 1. For some, it will be their first experience with writing workshop. For most, they will already know the routines of a workshop classroom. But regardless of the prior experience these young writers have, the goal is to get students engaged in making books right from the start of the year. One thing we want students to know is that writing is thinking, not merely just putting words on a page. We want to show students that authors and illustrators are intentional about the decisions of what goes in their books, and this is what we want for students. So let's review the curriculum and its purpose. The purpose of this curriculum is to build students' agency and independence and to adopt a growth mindset while helping them create an author-illustrator identity, being able to articulate their creative process. Let me show you a quote by Brené Brown explaining the importance of creativity in all our lives, including adults. But in my opinion, it's particularly important for young children. What I wish for students is that teachers use this curriculum to help cultivate their creativity so their writing lives will be rich with meaningful experiences. In Simon Sinek's TED Talk, he refers to the why as the most important part of decision making. The how and the what are less important. Before we get into the what we will teach and the how we will teach, let's review the why for this curriculum. You will see the why bolded on this chart because it should be at the heart of what we want for students. What we want, the why of why we're teaching, is to understand that writing and drawing is thinking. Cultivate creativity and joyfulness. Know my identity as an author and an illustrator. Articulate my thinking process and decision making rather than focusing on outcomes. We want children to adopt a dynamic learning frame or a growth mindset versus a fixed performance frame or a fixed mindset. And we want them to build agency and independence with the more I write and draw. The how is we are going to have teachers thinking together with students with books in a daily writing meeting or maybe small groups or conferences. We are also going to be noticing together with these young writers of how mentor texts write words and use illustrations in their books to convey meaning We will also chart together our thinking and discuss and envision possibilities for their books. And we will also incorporate guided drawing in our lessons. What we will be teaching in this curriculum is the writing process, how to notice a name for things like craft moves and illustration techniques, as well as how to have dialogue discussions among their peers. Let's review the entire year for this curriculum. Later in the video, we're going to talk more about the illustration study. After the illustration study, we are going to do an author study where we're going to delve deeper into the decisions that authors make as they write. We're going to do a structure study, and we're going to look at how books are structured differently and for what purpose. And then we're going to be doing a character study where children can see themselves as characters as well as their friends and family. We are then going to go into a nonfiction genre study to look at the different features and teach about and how to teach about a topic. And then we're going to do another genre study on opinion and to show kids that they have the right to an opinion and how to support it. So let's look at how this would look like on a daily basis. We're going to start off writing workshop every morning with a daily writers meeting. And here, children will be listening to picture books read aloud. They'll be noticing how books are written or illustrated. They'll be naming out the craft moves used by a mentor, author, or illustrator. And then, most importantly, we can teach kids how to imagine using these craft moves in their own writing. We will be using mentors by name so that students can identify the fact that there is a person behind the writing and to identify themselves as writing like these mentors. And then we will participate, or students will participate, in guided drawing with their teacher. Once kids are off and writing, Workshop time might look like this, where kids will be working independently, collaborating with peers, like co-authoring a book possibly, learning in small groups, participating in guided drawing lessons, working with a partner, conferring with a teacher, studying a mentor text, where they can spend more time with these mentors. The workshop time should be buzzing with all kinds of activities. And the last part of workshop is the share time, where students will articulate their bookmaking process, possibly with the group. They can share out accomplishments. They can discuss any struggles that they experienced so that they can ask for suggestions. They can celebrate trying out specific strategies that you might have learned together. They could possibly set goals for the next workshop time, or they can simply read aloud their work. I would recommend not skipping this time, in that we have to make this an important time of the writing workshop. In this study, you will be looking at both illustrations and language and commenting on the decisions made by mentors. For example, in illustrations, you can comment on space and layout, detail, color and tone, and perspective. And in the text part, you can be commenting on interesting language, repetition, bold or interesting font, or meaningful layout. You will also be teaching visual thinking strategies by looking at pictures and asking, what do you think is going on here? What do you see that makes you say that? And what more can we see? You will also be teaching illustration techniques that help convey meaning in pictures. Then you will be doing guided drawing, helping students improve their drawing skills. Here are a few recommended books you can use with your teaching that are included in the curriculum. Also included are several professional books that support this work. So as teachers of writing, when we teach writing as thinking, I wish you and your students happy thinking with this curriculum.